step amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, won't you step amaze me? Wouldn't it be crazy? Oh, won't you step amaze me? If I find my way home, yeah.
This is the moment for those who.
What we do here is go back.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Oh, yeah! What's going on, Mecha Army? My name is Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha, and you're watching the Child of Mecha live stream, so welcome to a brand new week! We have got some stuff going on tonight, you guys. I am telling you that right now. Tonight's episode is going to be jam-packed. I don't know if we're going to get to everything. I'm going to be dead honest with you. I don't know if we're going to get to everything. We're going to try to get the most of everything. That's all I can say at this point, right? That's all I can say. But hey, boom, Mecha Army. Ooh, let's get the boring stuff out of the way first. If you want one of these cool ass Mecha Army shirts, you want to represent, hit up www.chowdamecha.com, hit the store button up at the top. You're gonna find shirts and hats and bags and all sorts of other cool stuff on there, right? Go do that. Buy some stuff. Buy a lot of stuff. If you are interested in any of the tools, materials, and stuff like that we might work with here tonight, there's an Amazon link just below here on YouTube and Twitch. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, it is jam-packed with cool modeling gear and stuff, books for inspiration, gear for streaming, all sorts of fun little items for you. I do get a little bit of a commission based off of the stuff you buy. It goes out to help the stream, so buy a lot of stuff. It does help. The microphone is one reason. The other reason, which you guys can't see, but you will experience, is that Windows 10 is finally on this computer. Yeah! My Stream Deck is over here, too. I can finally use that. And you know what? You guys get a big shout out. Boom! Mecha Army! I can do stupid shit like that now. Oh, yeah. How about that? You want to see it again? You want another one? Huh? You want? Yeah, okay, fine. Boom, there you go. Mecha Army. I love that. Oh, so much fun. It is a lot of fun. But that opens up a few other avenues that we can do here as well, which will come later. That'll come later. But hey, that's because of you guys. Thank you very, very much. So yeah, go hit up the Amazon link. You find something, maybe you find something cool that you never even knew you needed. Maybe. Who knows? Let's see. Aside from that, if you need model kits or paints or Mecha Decal 001 dubs, soon R and G, and then also soon in 144 scale W, G, and R. Yeah, very, very soon. Hit up our good friends down here, USA Gundam Store. You know the deal. Adam and all those folks down there will definitely hook you up. So go buy some stuff. Yeah? Now, the other thing that you can buy at USA Gundam Store is this really, really cool new product here in the States. Our friends in the Philippines have had this for a while now. Armored Komodo. The Chroma Flare pigments. Yeah? We're going to be working with those here a little bit tonight. I'm going to kind of show you not only the results of the first attempt, but we're going to try to do it live. Hopefully I don't mess it up, right? But I'm comfortable with it enough at this point to where hopefully you guys can see the magic of this stuff, right? Because I tried to go a little bit outside the box with questionable results, and then I tried a traditional, and just it blew my mind. So that's all I gotta say. It blew my mind. But we'll get into that here momentarily. Yeah. What else? I was gonna tell you something else, and it slipped my mind. Oh well. Let's see. The whatever. Anyway, let's get to work, shall we? If I remember it, we'll cover it later. Yeah? Cool. All right. So, let's go over to boom, camera 2. Yeah? All right. So, let's see here. Here is this. Ah, you know what I missed? Let's see something here. Hang on. Well, shoot. Oh well. The thing that I'm noticing here is the camera is inverted. I'll fix that at a later date. It's not a big deal right now, right? It's not a big deal. We can work with it. All right, so let's get the foot out of the way. Let's get these out of the way. Let's get these out of the way. And let's focus on this guy right here, yeah? Let's see. That's the one. That's the one that we want to look at, right? Man, that looks good, yeah? This is the one that is brushed on, yeah? And just look at the colors. Look at just in the highlights and the shadows and everything. Look at that. That's insane, right? Really, really good paint and or pigment, I should say. And the bad thing is it doesn't come up all that great right here against this white paper either. So let's see here. What do we do? Let's get something other than that here. Let's just take the paper out and let's see if it balances a little bit better. Yeah, that's a little bit better, I'd say. Yeah, look at that. That's not too bad. Ooh, I'm still trying to get used to this inverted camera. But yeah, so pretty good there, right? Now, I had this was like a test piece, right? So what I did, you apply it with one of the silicone brushes. One of these guys, right? You guys have seen me use these plenty of times before, especially when laying down like decals and doing masking and stuff like that. These come in super, super handy. These are on the Amazon link, so go check them out if you don't have them. Very inexpensive stuff. But basically what these are, this is a silicone tipped brush, right? And they use this mainly for pottery and stuff like that. That's, you know, kind of where you find them here in the States mostly. But the cool thing is, and the cool thing with this particular brush is that, yeah, so you can apply a ton of pressure to this, you know, kind of flat kind of tip right there, right? And just really go to town and work this pigment into this into the plastic and everything. Freddie Torres, he's over there on YouTube, says great for sculpting epoxy putty. Yes, a lot of people use these for sculpting as well. So yeah, it's a good call, Freddie. So a lot of prep work. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of prep work, but some prep work went into this, okay? So let's go through the steps real quick first. The first layer was primer, right? Mr. Surfacer, I just used Mr. Surfacer 1000. Not a big deal there. And then what I did was I wet sanded that down with 3000 grit. Got it super, super smooth. And then hit it with some Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 black. So this is really, really nice. This will give you an ultra smooth finish. Not glossy, but very, very smooth, right? So after that, what I did was I hit it with a shot of Mr. Super Clear Gloss, right? This is my gloss clear coat of choice, right? Now, I get these in the spray cans. I decant them. This stuff is amazing. I've done all my models with it. Airdrop, Ozzy, Hummingbird, Blue Destiny, all the Bear guys, the Version Logic, you name it, this stuff is on it, right? I use Mr. Super Clear Gloss for gloss coats, high gloss, things like that, and then I use matte for kind of finish, kind of flattening effect and everything. I mean, this stuff is just basically crystal clear. It's as clear as water, goes on like glass. Really good stuff. But like I said, I decant it. I take it, I remove the product from the rattle can, right? So that's a very easy process. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. This is great stuff. I really, really love it. Kurt Hill is over there. He says it's the UV cut gloss, isn't it, Tim? No, this is the normal old school Mr. Super Clear gloss. This is not the UV cut. I have gone through the Mr. Color catalog extensively in my time, and there's a little footnote in the Mr. Color or the Mr. Hobby catalog that says the UV cut may have adverse effects on water slide decals. When I saw that, I was just like, yep, nope, not taking any chances. It may be nothing, it may be something, I don't know. I don't want to take a chance with it, especially at that stage in the process, right? So this has worked wonders for me for years. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's my opinion, right? If it works, it works. This stuff, it's a proven winner for me. So I like this. You can get a ton of it out of that can. I just really, really like it. So this is my gloss of choice. No hands down. So easy stuff. So what I did, I put this right over top of that Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 black here, right? So I got a nice glass black finish, like high gloss. You could see yourself in it. It had reflectivity right then and there. So then I just went ahead and popped open the heliconia, dipped the brush in there, and just started. Well, it'd be good if it was on camera, right? Got the heliconia on there. This stuff. Jesus, this camera's killing me tonight here, you guys. Just started brushing it on. And I'm going to tell you what, this stuff went on just like the boys at Armored Komodo said it would. And it's hard to see on camera because the lights are messing with the sheen and everything. But man, you can kind of see it against, when I put my hand back there, you can see, just the pops of red and kind of like hints of orange and violet in there, and the blue. Just, man, it's really, really nice. Really nice. So, great stuff here. Great stuff. Gamer Bud, awesome. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. He's shouting out the Mecha Army. Bud, love you. Thank you, buddy. So, we're going to show the Yugen color here in just a moment, right? Now, there's a difference between these two. Yeah? Excuse me. So, the boys at Armored Komodo, and especially Wilson Alinea, he is like resident expert at Armored Komodo stuff. He made this graphic, really useful graphic, I should say. The heliconia has obviously a dark label, and the Yugen has a white label, right? So that kind of tells you what base coat you should be using, right? So the heliconia, obviously, you use a gloss black. The Yugen, obviously, you're going to use a white, right? Now, obviously, you can play around with those a little bit, but for the desired effects that Armored Komodo advertises, that's what they're suggesting at this point, right? But, again, you can do whatever you want with them, right? Mix and match. Go crazy. The whole nine. Yeah. So, the Yugen we're going to play with tonight, we're going to put that over white, and I'm going to show you the process for that. Hopefully, it comes out as well as kind of the testing did, and we'll see, right? We'll see. But the heliconia definitely should go over a nice black base coat like this. I mean, that just pops, and it looks so good. And the bad thing is that looking at the screen, it does seem washed out on the screen, and that's a shame. That really is a shame, because in person man, you can see the violet, you can see the reds at the edges, you can see hints of orange, and then the blue deep, deep, deep down in the lower shadows and stuff like that. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Just a gorgeous color. So that was the initial brush testing, right? Now, I thought outside the box a bit, initially. I thought outside the box. I'm thinking to myself, all right, so this is pigment, right? Paint, which we spray on our models all the time, again, is just pigment in a carrier. So I'm thinking to myself, well, why couldn't I put this in a carrier and spray it on the spoon? Maybe I'll get the same effects or something similar, right? So I gave it a shot. So what I did was I took Heliconia, and then I took Mr. Super Clear Gloss, put a few little scoops of this into here, and got that. Let's crack this guy open here, maybe. Oh, yeah, that focuses actually really nicely on that, doesn't it? And you can see, ooh, look at that. Look at the flakes and just all the powder reacting in there. Just the nice purples and blues and everything in there. Yeah. That looks really, really good. So, I sprayed that out over a spoon with 1500 Mr. Finishing Surfacer Black. I sprayed it over one that had gloss and then one that was matte. That didn't have a gloss, right? And here are the two results. Now, I would be hard-pressed to say which is which. You really just cannot tell the difference. You can't tell the difference. The effect is really cool. Don't get me wrong. It's not as cool and smooth as that. This, it gets you almost a mirror finish, right? And you can see the reflectivity in it and everything there. This, the spray out, not nearly as much, right? You can see those flakes in there, right? You can even see it on screen. You can see the flakes. But to answer the question, which one is glossed, which one was matte, this is the one that was glossed. Right here. This is the one that was matte. Now, the thing is the carrier was a gloss, right? So, it really didn't, at the end of the day, it really didn't make much difference. Really did not make much difference. Now, I also went kind of crazy and mixed chrome with a little bit of Mr. Color Clear Blue, right? I just kind of, you know, tried something new, right? Let's mix this guy up here because the pigment does settle after a while because it's heavier than the paint. But you can see there. That is a very, very vibrant, sparkly, sparkly blue. Yeah? Very sparkly blue. So, we sprayed that on a spoon with the Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 Black, right? With gloss. And this is what we got right here. That's that's a crazy effect, right? Now, again, the one thing that I'm noticing is that the camera is washing out the blue like crazy right now. And that's unfortunate. That really is unfortunate. Because this blue, this is a deep, deep blue. And the crazy thing about this, and this just looks like a like a heavy flake paint job, right? But in person, it looks a lot deeper. Like it has many, many, many different layers, right? It's just really kind of a cool effect. I don't, you know, if you're gonna get artistic with your model, then this is a really cool effect, right? Not exactly the end result that I was looking for, but again, I was experimenting. I was thinking outside the box. I was trying to think of different methodologies for application of this stuff, right? Especially ones that would work better in my particular workflow. So, spraying something like this in a lacquer-based or a solvent-based acrylic carrier would have been absolutely perfect if I could have gotten the results like this, right? That would have been perfect. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't produce bad results. It just produced different results, right? Nothing wrong with different. But again, it's just not, it wasn't the same as the brushed on look, which for me was I'll be honest with you, it was a bit disappointing. But it wasn't really a big deal, because you'll see here in just a few seconds why I'm not overly disappointed in this, because the application on the brush side of things is actually fairly simple once you kind of practice and get used to it. This I still need to practice application on this, because this is not necessarily smooth. The one thing that I will tell you is that you need insanely clean hands. Or you need to use gloves, because the slightest bit of body oil that you get on this surface will affect adhesion. It will absolutely do it. I touched it, and I don't know if you guys can... Whoops, it's out of camera. I don't know if we can get it on here or not. Yeah, so right here, you can see kind of a dark spot right in there. That's where I touched it with just the tip of my finger, and I thought my fingers were clean too. But you can see, plain as day, a fingerprint if you look really, really close on this. And it's just kind of telling how clean you need your hands and stuff to be. So, with that being said, what we're gonna do for this demo is we're gonna pull out the nitrile gloves here, and we're gonna glove up here just to be on the safe side, because I do not, under any circumstances, want any body oil, any grease from my fingers getting on this the surface of this spoon that we're about to do up here with Yugen, right? So, glove up, right? Don't touch your greasy face. Don't grab some Doritos. Don't do that. Discipline. Have some discipline. Alright, so here we go. Now, what the boys at Armored Komodo have suggested to me, which I think works very, very well, is lay down a nice piece of paper, right? Now, obviously, this is a white, stark white piece of paper. It's coming up very, very gray, which is, again, it's just washing it out. Plain and simple, right? It's washing it out. But that's not a big deal. So, we've got our spoon here. This, again, was based in Mr. Surfacer 1000, wet sanded, and then laid down a coat of Mr. Color Gloss White on that to get it really, really nice and smooth, get that white color back that we wanted, and then I hit it with a coat of Vallejo Metal Varnish. This is what the boys at Armored Komodo have suggested, and from what I've seen so far, works really, really well. So, that goes on crystal clear, right? And you can see a little bit over here. I tested a little bit of the Yugen right there, and it's a pretty damn cool effect, I will say. It's a pretty damn cool effect. So, we're going to go full bore on this thing, and we're going to see if we can't get some decent results, right? So here is the Yugen Pigment, right? It's a little kind of a holographic pigment. Yeah, where are we gonna set this? We're gonna set this off right there, I think is good, yeah? And all right, so we've got our little silicone tipped brush here. Like I said, I like this kind of flat claw shape because you can really apply pressure. And basically we just go to work here. We just kind of dip that into the powder, and you want to apply a pretty decent amount of pressure from what I've experienced. The pressure applied really does press it into the surface really, really well. And we're getting decent results here. Again, my technique is probably not great at this point. Wilson and the boys at Armored Komodo could probably give me a few pointers here, because this is kind of going down a little spotty, right? But you can kind of see that effect start to come through, yeah? Now, I think what I might have done differently is to apply another coat of that metal varnish. Because from what it looks like, it might have settled at the bottom of this spoon. It might have run, you know? But yeah, this is definitely a little spotty. So my technique, again, is gonna need some refining. You guys have seen the results from the guys at Armored Komodo, right? So trust me when I say this stuff is amazing, but obviously in the right hands. And that's just kind of flaking off there, isn't it? That's a shame. It's better when you just apply pressure. Let me try this other brush here. So this is the brush that I used on the other one, and I had a pretty good time with it. Had a pretty good application. Yeah, it's a bit spotty, but you can kind of see the deal, right? You can kind of see the deal. So that's not bad, you know. Again, I need practice on this, right? I need to refine my workflow with this, right? So that's basically what this is gonna come down to. Doug's over there on Twitch. What's going on, Dougie? He says, is he brushing straight pigment onto the spoon? Yes, this is pigment, and this does, it is applied directly to the surface. Yes, that is how this is supposed to go down. Yeah, Not spectacular results on this one. I'll be the first one to admit it. Yeah. But you can kind of see the potential there, right? You can see the potential of this pigment. That is pretty damn cool effect. If we were able to get it on, you know, really, really nice and smooth. Very nice, very reflective. The colors hit really nicely. So, really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. Now, mind you, again, the results from the Heliconia, obviously, you know, speaks for themselves. That went on super, super nice, super smooth, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. So, Half Sight's over there on YouTube. He says, have you tried buffing it with a cotton pad? I know that's how C1 Metallizer works. No, that's a huge no-no because you will wipe off the pigment. Trust me, I tried, and it'll come right off. No, this is not the buffable style of pigments or anything. No, that's not how this is applied, unfortunately. This is laid down in pure pigment form with one of these silicone brushes, and like I said, if you guys have seen the results from Armored Komodo themselves, man, you've seen how this stuff is supposed to go down, how it's applied by true experts, right? I am not a true expert at this point. I am a stone cold rookie right now with this stuff. So, but like I said, the effect, you can definitely see the potential of this. Yeah? Good stuff. Good stuff. Really cool little pickups here from these guys. And I want to definitely try the chrome. I haven't had a chance to apply that yet. And I don't, unfortunately, have any other spoons that we can test it with right now. Because I wanted to try the Heliconia one. So, that'll be next. That'll be next. So, we will see. But, the cool thing about using a piece of paper like this is that you catch all the dust and everything like that, and then you can just toss that piece of paper away. Or if you got a ton of it on there, you can dump it back into the little container that comes with the pigments, right? The pigments come in, I should say. So, yeah. So good stuff. Good stuff, man. So, like I said, I definitely have to. I have to work that. That flow. You know, I have to work that workflow and get that down, and really kind of see what works for me and what doesn't. Right? Because there's a ton. There's a ton of experimentation, and then you know, of course, the boys from Armored Komodo. You know, we've been chatting. You know, for the past probably week or so. Hell, maybe even longer than that, about applications and stuff like that. Wilson Alinea, who we showed his website last stream on Friday, is an absolute genius when it comes to paint applications and stuff like that. You guys saw some of his weathering and stuff on his Facebook page, and he's kind of the guy when it comes to chroma flare application. So I think I'm gonna have to go back and kind of have a conversation and see kind of what I did wrong, especially with, you know, the UGAN application. But the Heliconia application I thought went really well. I did that before the stream yesterday and today, showed it to him. He said, yeah, that's basically what you want to get. Now it's a little dull now because I've been handling it, but yeah, it definitely works pretty damn well. So go pick up some from your local supplier, USA Gundam. What is it? The Gundam Shop or the Gundam Project Shop, our good friend Jeremy Chassange, out there on Facebook, and I know there's a place up in Canada now that carries it. Frank and Armor Komodo North America, I believe, got a distributor up there in Canada as well. So yeah, so should be pretty cool. So go pick that up. It's actually pretty inexpensive too, and you can get a pretty good amount of coverage on one of these, on just one of these little containers here. Yeah, I honestly didn't think it was going to go far when I saw the size of the container. I was like, oh, look at that cute little thing. But no, this stuff actually goes a pretty long way. I was very surprised by it. Very surprised. So yeah, so there we go. All right, you guys. Good demo. As good as we can. Feel like a rookie doing that shit. Ha! That's not fun, right? Damn it. Supposed to be like an expert in everything. Sucks. Anyway. All right. Let me do one thing here real quick, you guys, because this is just absolutely killing me right now. We've got to get this camera inverted. Because this is not going to work for the next part that we're going to do. It's just not going to work. I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to work. Let's see. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Boom! Now we got it. Let's see if that... Boom! You can read it. Actually, we got it. We did it. Yay! We done did it. All right, so fun times. Bailey says for the white spoon, it had Vallejo metal color varnish. It was metal, water-based metal varnish. This was the shit that I had to wait like a week or two on from my local hobby store. They just, for some reason, I couldn't get it. Like, come on, dude. So yeah, I had to wait on this. This took a while to get. This stuff is a bit odd because it's kind of thick in the bottle. You thin it down obviously with water. I used distilled water, and when I sprayed it on, I think I could probably have put in maybe a little bit of flow improver, maybe thickened it up a little bit more, maybe less water, stuff like that, because it went on and it beaded up on, it beaded up right away when it hit the surface, when it hit the Mr. Color White. But, you know, just kind of kept adding, and then it did congeal, I guess is the word. And then it just kind of went super glass smooth, and obviously you saw what the spoon looked like initially, so I think it came out pretty well. But it was kind of weird to use. I'm not used to using a water-based material, so I'm used to using solvent-based stuff. I don't know about that stuff. Anyway, Silver Stray Doug, he says, there's always new stuff to learn. Yeah, you're damn right, Dougie. You're damn right, dude. There's always stuff to learn. I am learning all sorts of new shit. This is all new to me. Straight rookie. I don't like the feeling. It's weird. I like knowing what the hell I'm doing. I don't like this. This is foreign to me. Oh, man. Cool. Okay, so I will... one of the guys at Armor Komodo asked a question, how long did you wait to cure the base prior to the stream? I guess he's asking the metal varnish. It was a few hours, actually. So I think it was, God, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours at least. It says on here, quick, quick, fast drying, 5 minutes applying light coats. So, I don't know. He says it's happened to us here too when we wait over 4 hours with our light curing. Oh, really? Interesting. Have a feeling the reason why spotting was due to the varnished being cured too long. What? Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. Huh. And oily hands do that too. Yeah, but see, I tried to avoid. I tried to avoid touching it with, because I saw the heliconia, and I definitely tried to avoid touching the white. So yeah. So it might have been just overly cured, if that's a thing. I mean, that's weird. I've never heard of that. But hey, you know what? I'm not the expert. These guys are the experts, and if they've seen that, and if they've experienced that, I have all the confidence in the world that they're what they're saying. And Wilson, he's saying, for me, 10 minutes after spraying the metal varnish, apply it after 10 to 20 minutes. Oh, wow, okay. Interesting. Huh. Very interesting, because he said, okay, so, yeah, because the adherence is affected when the paint base has over-dried. Wow, okay. Okay, again, I am a rookie at this stuff. This is all new to me. So that's really, really interesting, you guys. Huh. Hey, you know what? We learn, like he said, we learn stuff new every day, right? This is brand new to me. So I'm going to have to go back and I'm going to have to, again, refine my workflow with this, because I wanted to make sure that that metal varnish was completely cured. So again, like I said, I gave it several hours at least, right? Interesting. Well, thank you guys. The boys at Armor Komodo, they're just the support is amazing, guys. So that's really, really cool. Huh. Yeah. Frank, Armor Komodo North America, he says, sounds like take 2 for Yugen needs to be shown. Definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. We're definitely gonna try a take 2 on that. Yeah. Why not try Wilson's 10-minute suggestion on curing on the live stream while you work on the Zaku? Well, see, then I'd have to spray it and all that, and we'll do it on Wednesday. How about that? Guaranteed. We'll do it on Wednesday. I will spray, or at least I will try to remember to spray the metal varnish right before the stream. And as I'm doing kind of my opening spiel and everything like that, which takes about 10-20 minutes, then we can get into this and give that a shot. Huh. That's really cool. That's really cool. Yes. And they say, of course, we're here for you, for a brother from another mother. I love it. These guys are the best, you guys. Armor Komodo, man, I'm telling you what, man. These guys are nothing short of amazing. They are us. They are definitely one of us, right? These guys are modelers. These guys are hardcore. They love this shit, man. Oh, that's so cool. I love these guys. You know what? Cheers to the guys at Armor Komodo. That's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. That's good stuff, man. All right. So now we have a new course of action. We have a new plan of attack, right? We will tackle this on Wednesday, you guys, and we will see. We will get this. We will get this. I like it. I'm excited about this stuff. Yeah. Silver Stray, Dougie says, I'm going to order some of the pigments to try them out. I really like the effect they made when you mixed them in the clear base and sprayed it. Yeah, you know, like I said, it's not the same effect, and it's not a bad effect. It's just a different effect, right? It is cool. It is really, really cool. And man, you mix it with the super, Mr. Super Clear Gloss, is just smooth as butter. You know, you put you hit it with another another shot of Mr. Super Clear Gloss over top of it to get that glass effect. Yeah, man, that'll look pretty nice, right? And then this crazy thing, right? Look at how deep and nutty that looks. That just looks wild, man. That just looks wild. And you know, if you were doing some sort of like hot rod style Gundam or something like that, or maybe like what is it? The Hobby Hyzak. The Hobby Hyzak. You guys know what the Hobby Hyzak is, right? In Char's counterattack, they took a normal Hyzak, stripped it down, and that was the civilian use type, right? So who's to say you can't trick out a mobile suit, you know, and paint it up and whatever, you know? These guys have expendable income in the space colonies and shit, right? They're gonna trick out their you know, mobile suit, you know, personal use thing. Why couldn't you trick it out with some nice crazy fleck, you know, flecked paint like this, right? Come on now. Oh, and this would just look sick on a model car too. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, that just that effect, man. And you can mix this with any clear paint too, right? You can mix it with red, you can mix it with orange, yellow, you can mix it with whatever. But yeah, that's a pretty cool effect. I just mixed it with blue. You can mix it with whatever. Dude, and you know what the thing is that you can mix any of these colors with Mr. Super Clear or a clear color. Sky's the limit in terms of combinations. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Silver Stray. Dougie says, Hobby Hyzak Rat Rod. Doug, I think you have your next project, buddy. I think that sounds like a winner. I think that sounds like a winner. Oh, hey, my boy Zach Bleish is down there. He's over there on YouTube. He's from Galactic Toys up there in wonderful, beautiful Grand Rapids, Michigan. If you guys are up that way, I highly suggest that you stop in by the store because it is amazing. If you guys are into things like what is it? The vinyl things, the Funko Pops or Funko whatever. I'm not really into them. My sister is, but they just have like a freaking wall of them. Like a wall of them. They also have a wall of Gundams too, with some P-Bandai and some other cool stuff in there. So go check them out. What's up, Zach? My boy. Doug says, Tim, how do you think the pigments would work mixed with Future? I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? Test it out. I mean, that's what I did. That's what I did with this. I just mixed up a little teeny tiny bit so I wouldn't waste a ton of it. And man, this worked really, really well. Especially the Heliconia. Oh, I mean, look at this. That is just, it's just alive. Look at how that fleck moves in there. It's so cool to just sit here and just watch it, right? It really is cool. Yeah, man. Give it a shot, Doug. Give it a shot, man. He said, I'd assume probably Mr. Color leveling thinner. I missed something from Superset. Yes, I mix everything with Mr. Color leveling thinner, so that's an easy answer, right? I guess. So yeah, so Ruslam says mix the chrome with a clear red and paint flames. Dude, that would be really cool, right, Bill? That would be sweet, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Silver Stray looks so nice. Dude, it does. I'm very, very impressed with how the pigments mixed, right? Now, mind you, the chrome, the flecks of chrome are bigger. The flakes in this, the pigment size, is bigger than the Heliconia and the Yugen. I think the Yugen is maybe a little bit bigger than the Heliconia, because the Heliconia, you look at it, and it's just super smooth on the bottom of the little jar, right? And it coats like crazy. You just look at that, right? And this is the Yugen, so there's not a ton of coverage on the bottom, but there's some, right? And then the chrome is kind of the same way, but you can see the flecks in the chrome, which is kind of cool. All very different looks, all very different ending results. You can get stupid creative with all of these things. And they've got a ton of colors, you guys. Tons of colors. Tons. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. Gunpla in Miami says, Tim, any idea what colors you're going to use on the Zaku? You know, I have given that some thought. Yes. What I think I'm going to do is probably base this out in kind of a grayish brown. Like a very desaturated brown. Not like a tan or anything like that, but kind of a darker, kind of meaner color. But then an accent color of like a kind of a goldish yellow. Like a goldenrod yellow, right? So something really that'll kick. That's what I kind of that's what I feel will work, right? There's an artist that I follow on Instagram and on Facebook and on ArtStation too. And God, the name escapes me. Shinra something. But he does concept art, and he made this amazing concept piece that looked like was very inspired by a Zaku, and he had the same paint scheme. And I saw it, and I'm just like, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. And I have some cool decals in mind and stuff like that, unit insignias and stuff like that to kind of go with that color combination. So, yeah, should be interesting. Should be interesting. Let's see what else. Size Builds over there on Twitch. Dude, the Yugen on my perfect grade unicorn. Holy shit, dude. That would be pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. That would be pretty cool. You're going to need a lot of it, though. That's a big boy, man. That's a lot of surface area. But that would be damn cool. That would be damn cool. Julie Stemke, sorry y'all fighting to stay awake. I'm out, have to get up early. Man, Sarge, good night. Have a wonderful day. Size Build says, and then put the Heliconia on the Banshee. Oh, Super Set, you give me ideas that make my wallet hate me more than it already does, right? Oh, man. Yeah, that would be a killer combination, though. The Yugen on the Unicorn, and then the Heliconia on the Banshee. Yeah. Yeah. And I think they have like I think they have like a gold kind of flake color for the Banshee Psycho frame, and then they definitely have a kind of crazy nice red for the Unicorn Psycho frame. So that I think would be tricked out really nicely. Give it a shot. You never know. Ruslan Bill says, Tim, any chance of you mixing a little Yugen with Mr. Color White and spraying that? I think it might be a fantastic color, sort of similar to the Mr. Color Kitten Blue. That's interesting. The Kitten Blue is more of a mother of pearl, while the Yugen, you know, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, this looks like mica powder, but I can't be for certain. Can't be for certain. So, it's worth a shot, right? Worth experimenting. Definitely. Definitely. So, yeah. Cool. Good stuff. All right. Let's shift gears, right? Let's shift gears. Let's go over and let's take a look at the foot. Now, I posted a picture of this. We worked on this a little bit on Friday's stream, but we didn't get finished with what I really had wanted to, and that's this recessed panel here, right? Man, the guys at Armored Komodo are still talking. That's awesome, dude. Love those guys. So if you guys saw the picture on you know, Facebook and Instagram and all the social medias, you guys saw, if it would focus here. There we go. You guys saw how we did the recessed panel, this middle part right here, right? So, actually, it's a pretty easy thing to pull off. It just is very tedious. That's the thing. That's what, you know, when you get to doing things like this, it's not overly hard. It's not difficult. It's just really stupid tedious. That's just how it is. It's just stupid tedious. So this was tedious, right? So let's take the toe off and let's pop this top armor off of here, and let's see if we can maybe, man, I don't know if we're gonna have time to get all of this tonight, but we'll try, right? We'll try. All right, so there's the recessed panel, right? Now let's get super zoomed in on this so you guys can see this with a little bit of a better detail, yeah. And boom. All right, so there we are. There it is, right chaw. All right, so that's looking pretty good, yeah? That, what we did here, and you can see the difference in plastic color. We plated up this, the front and then the corner bevel here with plastic sheet. Or plastic strip, I should say. And then just kind of married it into this surface here to make it look like just it was blended in, right? And then, obviously, this here was 1/2 millimeter strip, and then we scribed, outline scribed right next to that to give it a nice kind of shadow, like a pseudo shadow kind of effect, right? So that's kind of what we did there. We got our cool panel lines here. We got our notches and everything. Just a very clean, very simplistic look. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna try our best to duplicate that onto this guy tonight. Now, again, this is very tedious work, you guys. I don't know if we're going to get into all of it tonight, but we're going to try. I'm going to show you how. All right, so buckle up, get a drink, let's go. So let's get the hell out of super zoom here, and then we get all of this. All the screens pulled back in. There we go. Here we are. Superset 5. I have a similar idea. I have some SMS orange/yellow color shift paint I plan on using on a real grade Banshee. Nice. Excellent, actually. Really good stuff. Man, am I missing comments? It looks like I'm missing comments. Oh no. The comments are actually catching up. Weird. So, I have my main chat program here, and I have the YouTube window over here, And I just switched back to the YouTube window, and the comments are just flying like this. And over here, the comments are dead still. These are up to date. These are catching up. Scared me there for a minute, you guys. Scared me there for a minute. All right, so what we need is we need some 0.5 millimeter by 2 millimeter strip here. So we need to find what we did with that here. Let's see. That's not it. That's it. All right. So this is what we're going to be using for the majority of this stuff. We're also going to be using some nice 4 millimeter here as well, right? So first things first, let's get our eyes on, because you can't see jack squat without your eyes on, right? So here we go. Now, what we did, let me double check my work here. Yeah. All right, cool. So what we did, we laid down two strips of 2 millimeter right up to the bevel on both sides here. That now creates our recessed panel effect. Yeah. So let's get those cut first. Just going to size those up. 1, 2. All right, good deal. So we have our first pieces here. First piece is cut. Now, we're going to bring in our good friend, Mr. Bob Smith Industries super glue, the BSI stuff. Best super glue. Even, yes, even better than Loctite. I have to admit it. All right. So, what we do here, let's get situated, let's get serious here. Okay. Now, we apply this right up to the edge of the bevel here. This placement is crucial. And that looks pretty damn good. Get the excess out of that corner there. So that's one side of the bevel, or one side of the recess panel, right? We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Again, placement for this particular strip is very important. The other strips that we lay down, not so much, because most of them will be trimming to trimming them to fit. These actually designate our inner surface here. All right. So now that this is cured, we trim this away. We're going to just kind of get the bulk of this. We don't need to trim it down perfectly right now. Okay. So now, hobby knife. Sharp blade with this, guys. Sharp blade. You need a brand new, nice, sharp blade. That's important. Very, very important. All right. Excuse me. All right, cool. So it is working. The chat is working. Good, good, good. All right. So the reason why we need this new blade is because we're going to be trimming this stuff very finely to match the bevels on this piece. So the sharper the blade, the easier that this is going to go. So keep that in mind. All right. So eyes down. Let's get this trimmed up here. And we're riding this bevel that's already existing on this piece here. That's perfect. And we're going to do this to all four corners here. All right. And this has to be close, but it doesn't have to be perfect, and we'll show you why here in just a few seconds. Because essentially what we're going to do is we're going to strap over these surfaces. And if you don't know what that means, then you haven't been watching this stream very long. Strapping technique, which we've gone through many times before. One of my favorite techniques is the process of wrapping a strip or piece of styrene around a surface, and that basically just kind of looks like a strap at the end. So that's what the strapping technique is. We'll show you here in a few seconds. Are we on camera? There we go. Now we're on camera. Okay, good there. Okay. Good enough. All right. So now we need a little bit more 2mm to strap up all four of these corners here. So we're going to cut just a little bit. Just a little bit. Where did the knife go? Ah, there it is right there. All right. So we cut little bitty pieces here. And these don't have to be perfectly sized or anything like that. These just need to be bigger than these little bevels right here, here, and on the other two sides, right? All right. So, now, again, placement of these particular strips is pretty important because these need to be aligned perfectly with the straps or the pieces of styrene, I should say, underneath. So a little bit of super glue right there on that. And then we eyeball this so that it lines up nice and perfect. And let's see, there we go. That looks pretty damned good. Whoops, as I lose it here. Nice and straight. Cool. Alright, so let me do one thing here real quick. There we go. Now we got autofocus for some reason was not on the camera there. Alright, so that's one side. Let's get the other three sides glued up here real quick. We're moving pretty good at this point. Okay. That looks good. Whoop. Looking pretty good right there. All right, those two are nice and straight. Now we got the bottom ones to put in. And this glue is going to set up very, very quickly. So by the time we place these bottom four, these top two will be completely cured and we'll be good to go. All right. Okay, that one looks good there. All right, last one on this side. Okay. Okay. So there, excuse me, there is the beginning of all the straps, right? Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good so far. So, cheers to that. Alright. So now what we do, we go back to the top straps, because these should be fully cured, the top ones here. Now, we go back up here and we start to trim off the excess. Okay. And then just a little on the front here. Good stuff there. These are nice and set up here now too. We'll trim this off. Good. Okay. So there's that with the excess trimmed off, right? So now again, we'll go back, we'll trim this stuff up very finely, and then we'll kind of get into the hardcore beveling and stuff like that, because that's where the real, kind of the real fun of this and where it really comes alive. But it's also where the tedium kind of really starts to set in. So let's start up in the corner here and we'll work our way around. So now what we've got to do is we've got to get these pieces of plastic beveled to the strip underneath of them. We've got to get these surfaces matching up perfectly. And that super glue is going to help you a ton in this particular situation, because the super glue is a perfect filler for gaps and stuff like that, because, you know, it's an acrylic, basically cyanoacrylate. That's an acrylic plastic, essentially, once it cures. And this stuff will be your best friend when filling gaps and stuff like that. Okay. And let's see, that bevel is perfect. Excellent. So the one thing that you want to keep in mind, and you want to keep an eye on when you're doing this, is that your bevel lines, the lines that designate the actual bevels of the piece, match the ones on the original piece. That's super important, right? Super important. So, it's always a good thing to keep an eye on how you're trimming these up and what direction that bevel is turning to. Because if it's turned to one side, that means that your cut is a little wibbly wobbly, right? So keep that in mind. Frank's over here on YouTube. He is Mr. Armored Komodo North America. And he says, "Hey Tim, what do you do to prepare oneself to not get stabbed by their own hobby knife?" Brother, that is the $64 million question, right? You can never prepare yourself to get stabbed by your hobby knife. It's just going to happen. It's going to happen. You can play it safe, but man, the numbers are not in your favor. Just try to take as many precautions as possible. That's the best I can say. But you will get stabbed eventually. There's no doubt about it. You will get cut, and it will hurt, and you will learn from it. That's for sure. That is for sure, man. But, you know, in retrospect, there are precautions that you can take. Number one, make sure you're working with a sharp blade. That's pretty simple. Make sure you're working with a sharp blade. A sharp blade, yes, even though it is more dangerous to, well, could be more dangerous. The fact is you're going to have a lot better control with a sharper blade. You're going to have a lot better cutting experience with a sharper blade. And with more control comes more stability in that blade, and the less likely it is to slip when you're cutting and cut you. So, yeah. Okay. These bevels look really nice and tight, and it looks like they match the underlying piece pretty damned well. Alright, so let's take a look there. That looks pretty clean, if I do say so myself. That's not bad. Yeah, Julio, clipping nubs. Huh. You got it right, dude. Knife discipline. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Sice Builds over there on Twitch, he says, get stabbed. It's okay. That way you can say blood, sweat, and tears go into every build you do. Nice. I like it. I like it. Julio says, yeah, try the careful thing. Slips happen. Yeah, absolutely. Dwidget, there are no hobbies and games over there on Facebook if you guys are playing at home. Also, a dull blade is your worst enemy. I agree, buddy. I agree. Bailey says same as cooking, dude. Right? Funny anecdote. We have this knife upstairs. That is so gnarly and so jagged and so nasty, that I'm afraid to use the damn thing. Like the edge of the blade, just if you look at it, just goes like this. Oh, it's so bad. And I keep telling my wife we got to throw it out, but she just says, no, it's fine. No, it's not fine. Oh, man. Yeah. Kenneth Sims says, years of blood loss from those cuts. Yeah, dude. Bailey says, try to cut away from yourself when you can. Yeah, I never do that, though. I just try to be as careful as possible. I feel I get more control, and I hate to say this, cutting towards myself rather than cutting away. It's just how it is. Brandon 5269, he's over there. Clean cut if you do cut yourself too. A dull blade cutting you hurts more and does more damage. That is a very good point. Silver Stray Doug says you have to do a blood sacrifice to every kit you need to appease the Gunpla gods, or they will smite your build and make you lose pieces and break things. Nice. Dougie, we need you on here more often, buddy. This is good. This is good banter, man. Bailey says, when you can't, then brace your cutting then brace your cutting motion with your fingers as Tim is doing here. Thank you, B. Appreciate that, buddy. Superset's over on Twitch. He says, at work I have to wear cut-resistant gloves on every station I work on. Maybe I should use those. You know, and that's funny because they what is it? USA Gundam Store. He posted out those like little finger covers that are cut resistant, right? So, yeah, there's those types of things now. Interesting, right, guys? Interesting. Julio Ponte, serrated for your right? Dude, it's a nasty blade. It is a nasty blade. Dwidge says, while chanting shark bait, ooh, ah, ah, right? Dude. George just says, is that your designated, the wife is piss knife? It could be, brother. It could be, man. Jesus. Edwin RSA is over there on YouTube. What's up, Edwin? Blood for the Blood God, right? Al Cruz. What's going on, Al? I just ordered Amy those finger protectors last night. Dude, good call, brother. That's false. That's so funny, though. Fiery, what's going on, buddy? He says horrifying, dude. Yeah, that's that's not the kind of blade I want to use when chopping onions or anything like that. Trust me. No sir, no sir. All right, so now that all this is set, all this is trimmed, now we can get to start transitioning over to the actual bevel, right? So now what we've got to do, we've got this hard corner right here from the strip. We need to trim this down and match this with that corner bevel. That is the main thing that's going to give us this look, right? Because if you look here at the finished piece, the where's my little pointer? There's a strip that gets glued down onto this corner bevel, but it lays flat against this top portion here. So we need to get this beveled down to match. This is kind of where the interesting part comes into play, because we're going to be trimming a ton of plastic off this. And start slow. You don't want to trim too much away too soon. You want to be kind of gentle with your cuts, because you've got small pieces up at the top and up at the bottom that you have to kind of be aware of. Am I even on camera? Yeah, I am. Cool. Alright. So these two pieces up at the top and up at the bottom are going to be a bit fragile. So you want your cuts to be kind of thin. And you don't want them to take off too much at one time, or else you could very well pop that piece off of there, and then we're basically SOL, which is not a good thing. All right. Looking good so far. Now I gotta get this bottom cut off here. Okay. Alright. Not too bad. Not too bad. The boys at Armored Komodo, man. I love these guys. I don't know if you can hear the chat sounds, but man, these guys are going back and forth with the application tips and everything for us. So we're going to try that, like I said, we're going to try that again on Wednesday and see if we can't get that Yugen to lay down a little bit better. Alright, so with a file, we're just basically shoring up this angle, this bevel here, right? We're just basically flattening this stuff out and making it nice and even all the way across this flat surface here. We're just riding that corner beveled surface. We're just getting everything nice and flat and straight. And now, so you can see how we've matched this corner up. We've trimmed off that hard edge off of this top strip, and now that matches this corner bevel. Now, you could stop. You could stop here, and you could just live with this bevel here in this small little this top surface here. I don't particularly like that look in comparison to this. I think having a little bit more plastic up on this top surface is a better look. There's more balance to it, in my opinion, right? Because you've got this big bevel surface here, and then you got this teeny tiny top surface, and then it goes into recessed panel, right? For me, there's no balance there. There needs to be a little bit more spatial balance. And what I mean by that is that now we've got this nice small corner bevel here, which is roughly the same size as this this top surface, and then it goes into that recessed panel, and that just, I think, looks better, right? Like I said, it just looks more even. And even if you look at it from kind of like a bottom perspective, that's still, again, there's just good balance to it, right? So I like this look better than this look if we were to stop right now with that. Okay? So that's what we're not going to do. We are not going to stop here. We are going to keep going, right? So let's get this second side beveled out, trimmed down, because that's going to be important. Okay. Cutting those little pieces at the top and the bottom, very delicate. So, concentration, always important. Making sure we're on camera here. Okay. Now we go to work on this hard edge and just take off a little bit of a time. Like I said, you do not want to go and try to take it all off, all this plastic. You don't want to try and take that all off at one time. You want to do this in layers so you don't pop this don't pop the glue on this piece, and then you have to do this all over again. Because trust me, I've done that before. And it's not fun, you guys. I'm telling you. It is not a fun prospect to repeat your work. Okay. Let's get this surface filed here. Looking pretty good. Now, one thing that I find works really good when when working with one of these little jeweler files is to have your finger underneath of focus. There we go. Have a finger underneath here, and then you can kind of rest and use that as a guide for your file, right? You can kind of keep that in proper orientation with that support finger there. Okay. Good and straight. All right. So there we have this all trimmed up, looking good. Now we start to apply the 4mm around this thing. So let's get, because we're going to basically apply strips to the bevels here, right? So let's get these cut. One there. One there. All right. Tamiya 1, 2, 3s. Love them. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, get that in the tweezers there. Glue on the beveled edge. Again, don't be afraid to apply liberally, because this glue will act as a filler for any, low spots or gaps or anything like that. It's great. So placement is not super critical at this point. Just make sure you're overhanging on all edges. That's really the only thing that you need to be cognizant of when applying this particular piece. Just make sure you're overhanging. Alright, good there. Alright, let's get the other one applied. Okay, just like that. Alright, so now we have our plastic wrapped over, strapped over to these corner bevels now, yeah? So, there we go. Let's see, Fiery says, yeah, every day since I was a kid until 10, went to a neurologist and got meds, much rarer now, thankfully. Oh, that's good, man, I guess. Oh, fighting migraine. Well, that's never fun, right? That's never fun. Silver Stray. Okay, the newest tweet is C by USA GS is almost a year old. Well, that's because you're looking on Twitter, dude. Don't look on Twitter. Look on Instagram or Facebook, man. Oh. Nobody. Does anybody really post on Twitter? I mean, other than the Japanese modelers. That's the only reason why I get on Twitter, is to follow Japanese modelers. Seriously. I don't think... I don't know of any established... I don't know, any established modeler outside of Japan and that posts on Twitter. Like regularly and successfully, that and has like a following, right? I mean, maybe Zach, I don't know. But Zach, you know, shit, he's got 100,000 fucking followers on YouTube. What do you want, right? Silver Stray Doug said, you said tweet, so I looked on Twitter. Did I say tweet? My bad, dude. My bad. Fire says, I do Twitter more than anything else. LOL, most of my friends are there. Yeah, I'm not one for the Twitter. I'm not one for the Twitter. Twitter and me, I don't know. We just don't have a great relationship. Alright. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back and let's get this trimmed up. We're going to do the same thing with this 4mm strip that we did for the other 2mm strips. We're just going to get this thing trimmed down and cut up. And we're going to get this looking really nice. Get it beveled to all the proper angles. And once we're done with that, we've just got a few more steps. A few more pieces to apply. And then this recessed panel here will definitely start taking shape. Am I on camera? Here we go. Cool. Alright. We're just trying to knock off the low-hanging fruit here of this plastic strip. Just trying to get the bulk off. We're not trying to do anything fine. We're just getting the nasty stuff off. All right. So let's start with the front edges here. We're just going to, again, we're not going to go super crazy with the first cuts. We're just gonna start to trim this down. Be sensible with it. the knife do the work. Let the plastic guide the knife. Because that strip that's there is basically going to be your guide, your cutting guide. Okay, not too bad. We'll come back and we will sand this front surface just to even everything up and make it nice and straight, so not to worry. Looking pretty good. Okay, so now what we can do, grab your sanding block or sanding stick, whatever, your file, whatever, and just very, very lightly just start to sand that front surface there. And what that's going to do is that's going to marry up and it's going to even out both sides of both sides of the recessed panel here. Okay, that's looking really nice. Now I do see a spot right here where the glue didn't fill in. Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Because then all we got to do, just pop a little drop of super glue on that thing and you're good to go. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now, if you are lucky enough to have one of these Minishima filing plates, this is very good to use right now, because what this is going to do, it's going to get that front surface oh so even. And that's going to be just dead flat by the time you're done. Very good. Very nice. All right. So now we start working the outer edges. Start trimming these guys up here. Dougie says, when shaving / trimming pieces like you're doing now, I like using the flat chisel blade, X-Acto, the Alpha. Yeah. I think I showed you this at the first class, right? Right, Doug? So what Doug's talking about is this this blade right here. We all know it. We all love it. It's the chisel blade, right? This is definitely really good. For my purposes, for my personal preference, for something this small, I like to get in a little bit closer with my blade. So I will usually save the chisel blade for larger surfaces. Something like this takes a little bit more finesse than I feel that the chisel blade provides me. But that's just, again, personal preference, you know? Personal preference. Okay. Good. Very good. That side is pretty much done. We'll go back and we'll finish sand that side as well to get that nice and even. Let's work on this side here. That's looking pretty good. Okay. And that's looking pretty good as well. Excellent. All right, so now we're done basically trimming these two sides. Now we have just to even these up. So a little bit of kind of fine grit sandpaper. I think this is about 800, 600 maybe. Doesn't really matter. Well, it would matter if it was like 120 or something. Then it would matter, or 80 grit. But, you know, something on the higher scale. Okay, and there you can see how that's nice. Oh, look at how straight that edge is. That's good. And there is no, we're doing the nail test, there's no catch. Perfectly smooth. Do the same thing to this other side here. Ooh, that's looking good there too. That's looking good there too. And there we go. That's looking mighty fine. And there we are. That's, you can see that edge right there, nice and straight along this side. That's perfect. Now, what we have left is kind of the tedious part, and this is the part where it gets a little hairy. This is the part where you have to be super careful, because what we've got to do now is we've got to get these top beveled edges married up to pretty much everything else. This is where it all comes together. This is the crucial part. Kind of make or break, if you will. So first things first, we got to trim these down to match the bevels of the existing surface on the existing surface of the piece. And we got to make sure that these cut bevels, these bevels that we just made here to match up, we got to make sure right here, we got to make sure these are straight across, just like that. See how straight that is? And see how that matches? And that's parallel to that surface. That's what we're looking for. That's exactly what we're looking for. Okay. This is kind of where the artistry comes into play. Because one minor slip of the knife, and your angles could be way, way, way off. And again, you can kind of see this cut edge right there, where we just trimmed, is parallel to this edge right there. That's important. Very, very important. Terry's on YouTube. What's going on, man? Terry says, would you carve over a surface that was filled by super glue, or would you flatten it out with sandpaper? Bailey says sand first. Now, I'm of two thoughts. The proper way, yes, would be definitely to sand. But part of me sometimes doesn't want to do that. Part of me just wants to get the job done. And if I can get the job done by cutting through the super glue, then so be it. Yeah. So be it. I will be honest with you. Sometimes I do that. I think we all sometimes do that, right? Cheers to cutting corners, you guys. As long as you can get away with it, though. That's the thing. As long as you can get away with it. If you can get away with it, is it really cutting corners then? I don't think so. I don't think so. And you know what? And that's a tip for the Mecha Army. I love these stupid effects, you guys. I don't even know. I love these stupid things. All right, let's get this trimmed up here real quick. All right. You know, the thing about cutting through super glue is that it's basically the same density as Bandai plastic, from what I've experienced anyways. You know, the Bob Smith, the Loctite, that's all very, very, very similar in density to Bandai plastic. It really, really is. So at that point, you do have to ask yourself, is it really then cutting through super glue, or is it just you're just cutting through plastic? I don't know. It's a question for the ages, I guess. Working efficiently. There you go, Fiery. That's what I'm talking about. Belly says, I don't have as much experience with CA as a filler as you do, so I play it safe and sand. Yeah, and you know what? There is nothing wrong with that, dude. There's zero wrong with playing it safe. Shit. I would normally play it safe too, to be honest with you. I would. But yeah, as your experience level grows with something, I mean, you know how to manipulate the situation, right? So say for instance, if you're really amazing and you're really experienced with working with resin, you know, resin cast kits and stuff like that, you know pretty much how resin, and it doesn't really matter what kind of resin it is, you know how that resin's going to react to certain things, right? To certain circumstances, right? You know what it's going to take to manipulate that piece, that whatever, that resin. Same thing with super glue. Same thing. Just takes experience. The more you practice, the better you get at it. And that's with anything, man. That's with anything. And see, Bailey, this right here, this particular practice, I'm playing it safe. I'm not sanding. I am cutting this stuff because I know by cutting it, my knife skill with this is going to be so much better and so much cleaner than if I tried to take a sanding block to this thing and do it that way. It would be much easier, but it wouldn't be nearly as precise. Right? So, let's see. There are our cut-in bevels. Perfectly aligned with the top and bottom edges, respectively, which is very important. Very important. All right, so now we've got those cut. Now we go back to our 4mm strip here. 4mm by 1/2 millimeter, right? And now we trim off some pieces, and then the last parts that we're going to glue to this thing are going to be our 4 top and bottom bevel corners. Yeah? Spider2K2, James 2.0, he says, looking good. Thank you, James. Appreciate that, buddy. All right, so we're just going to cut a few pieces. And it doesn't, like I said, these sizes don't matter because we're going to trim these down to a quarter of this size, probably, right? Probably. Maybe. Who knows? All right, so grab these with the tweezers. Little spot of super glue on here. We got some super glue crud all over the tip of the Bob Smith. I hate it when you get super glue on the tip. Where's Freddy? Freddy should be making a joke about that. Don't get super glue on your tip. God, that is not a good time. Alright. So we'll just set these on here. Again, placement is not crucial. You just need to make sure that the plastic is overhanging on all sides of the surface. That's the only thing. The only consideration you really need at this point when you're gluing these particular little pieces down. Oh, you know what? Bailey, did you guys record the new cutting mat? I think I heard Joel or saw Joel post something about that. Is that done, Bay? Let me know. When is that going to be out, if it is? Tell the people. They want to know. Or at least I want to know. Shit. Oh! You know what? I totally forgot the other effect that I made for the stream, you guys. And we've had questions upon questions here. Well, you know what? I had a question for Bailey, so...
We have a question!
How obnoxious is that one? Yes! Oh, that one is great. You guys want to see that again? I know I do.
We have a question!
Yes! That's the best one. So when people have questions, you know, you just cue it up. You're just like, oh yeah?
We have a question!
Holy shit. Oh. Oh. Come on, I mean, tell me that's not so good. That is just, oh. Terry T, he said, oh my god, that just scared my cats away. Oh, and then of course the classic. Boom. Oh, God, it's so great. Spider2K2 James says, when someone got a question, they're going to get a seizure. Oh, Sice Builds over there on Twitch. He says Tim's enjoying his new toy. You're damn right, dude. I am totally enjoying this shit. Oh, and mind you, we're just scratching the surface with this thing. We are literally just scratching the surface. I feel I should create so many more, right? Especially Gundam related stuff, like, you know, like Bright Slap, or, you know, stuff, you know, stupid stuff like that, you know? Just have fun, you know, not to spam them out, not to get annoying, just for the fun of it, right? Come on, I mean, come on. One more time, and that'll be it, right? Let's go.
We have a question.
Yes. Oh my god. That's so good. Ah, that's so good. And I can't believe I forgot that, you guys. I've been answering questions all night. And I could have been spamming that damn thing out all night. All night long. I could have been spamming it out. Now I'm regretful. I don't like to be regretful. I don't do regrets, man. But that is damn funny. Come on, you gotta admit, that is damn funny. Whew. I gotta collect myself. This is great. Oh, my God. Super Sad is over there on Twitch. He says, I have so many questions now. I love it. Oh, I love it. Julio says, Funk Mecha Flex in this bit. Dude, right? Oh my God. Julio says, can we get a Freaky Finger one? Maybe. Maybe. Bailey says, this is Streamlabs. Yeah, dude. Well, that, the effect is not Streamlabs. The effect is not Streamlabs. That's something I created myself. Just because, you know. It's because I'm stupid like that. I don't give a shit, man. Oh. You know. All it is, it's a little alpha channel MP4 file that I created. The voiceover. Let's play it one more time so you guys can hear. Listen to the voiceover. All right, listen to the voiceover. One more time. This is it.
We have a question.
That's my voice. I literally recorded that earlier today. That is my voice. Mind you, altered. But yeah, that's me. We have a question, right? I did my my best Mortal Kombat finish him impression. Finish him, right? You know that thing. Oh. There we go. Are we even on camera? I don't even know. There we go. All right. So we've got our last four pieces glued up on this thing, right? So, let's see real quick. Brandon G says there needs to be one specifically for Andrew. Dude, you know, I was thinking that too. I gotta be honest with you. I was thinking about that too. Sice Build says, the Stream Deck is an amazing beast. If I could use one, I would scheme with you. But it doesn't work on Windows 7. Dude, I know, right? I couldn't use it until now. And that's the sucky part. Like, I bought it last year. The bad thing is that I didn't read the fine print and that said it only worked with Windows 10. So here I am, I get it. I have Windows 7 and I'm booting it up, I'm plugging it in. I'm like, what? Why is this? Doesn't work. What's going on? And then I notice it's only Windows 10 compatible. So I'm like, son of a bitch. So, yeah. Spider2K2 says, do you have a Streamlabs deck controller, Tim? You could use that as a preset key. Yeah. What do we got? It's the Stream Deck. What I got here. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, and that's all you do. You just so basically what you do is you set the alpha channel MP4 as a source in your scene in OBS, Streamlabs OBS, whatever you're using. And you program a hotkey for it, and then you program the same hotkey onto the Stream Deck, and then every time you push it, it plays the MP4. And it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool little thing. So, yeah, it really is my new favorite toy. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I think I have spent way too much time dicking around with this thing than I probably should have. Honest truth, just honest truth, man. Oh, yes. And it is fun. It is damn fun. Bailey says no regrets. Right? Oh man. Let's see. Edward Leonard is over there. It sounds like an 80s video game. That's exactly kind of what I wanted it to sound like. So, mission accomplished, you guys. Mission accomplished. Captain Weirdbeard, what's up, Captain? He says, yeah, Freaky Fingers, team hand gang. What the shit? Oh, Bailey, flawless victory. Yeah. Oh man, it is good stuff though. It really is good stuff. Must construct additional pylons, Brandon G. Oh, is that Star? I never played StarCraft, so I can't say that I was familiar with that. So, Spire 2K2. Anyway, I'm off for the night. Got work for the next 2 days. 12 hours each day. Catch you next time, guys. Dude, James, have a good night, brother. Have a good night, dude. Julio Ponte says, damn, that brings me back. Right? Oh, you know what? You know what, Julio? The freaky finger is out in the other room, or else I would show it to people. But, yeah, that's out. That's in the other room. I'm not going to go grab it right now. I'll try to have it on Wednesday, though. All right. So, real quick, let's get this thing started to wrap up, because it's 12:15. We're going over a little bit, but I want to get this done. And I want to get this all beveled and kind of show you the end steps here for this thing, because that's important, right? So, again, we're just trimming off the excess plastic here, top, bottom. And then we're going to go into the piece itself here. Start trimming that back. And you should be able to, or you should be trimming these down a pretty good amount. Like I said, there's not going to be much plastic left on these corners, you know, overhanging. Once you're done trimming all these pieces here. And don't worry if they don't all look the same. That's not a big deal right now. We can work with that. We can shape these things up, file them, cut them, the whole 9 yards, to where they're looking perfect at the end of the process. Okay. Okay. So that's basically what we should look like here once this is all kind of trimmed up with the nippers and everything, right? Zach Blake, have a good night, Tim. Work in the AM. Dude, Zach, have a good night, brother. I will talk to you soon. Definitely. No Zaku boy, James 1.0. Damn freaky fingers. It's all about, it's all Daft's fault, right? Where is Shane, man? I talked to him earlier. He should be on here. All right. So this is where I'm not going to lie. This is where the tedious part comes into play, because now what you have to do, since these are basically our end caps, our kind of ending pieces, we have to trim all the way around each one of these. So you're looking at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 separate surfaces to trim on each one. So that's what? 9 times 4, that's 36 separate surfaces that we have to make sure and trim down. It's tedious, right? So we're gonna try to get through this real quick though. All right, because I've done this before. This ain't my first rodeo, you guys. This is not my first rodeo here with this thing. Okay, those two surfaces look really good. All right. So while I'm trimming this here, who else is starting to watch Nosferatu on AMC? Anybody? Or just me? Because I think it's pretty damned awesome. Go, talk. And if you're not watching it, you probably should be watching it, because it's a damn fine show. Fiery says never heard of it. Oh, dude, it's on AMC. Really good. So, for those of you that have never heard of it, like Fiery, and that's okay, it's on Sunday nights. So, it's in that Walking Dead time slot. Zachary Quinto is in it. He plays the main antagonist, Mr. Manx. And it's based off of a book by Stephen King's son. What's his name? Joe Hill, I think is what he goes by. It's a pen name because he didn't want to ride his father's coattails, which is admirable. Very admirable, actually. I wish there was more of that in this world, you know what I mean? But shit, who am I to talk? I work in the family business anyway, so I'm fucking hypocritical over here. So what are you gonna do, right? Fire says, then again, I don't watch TV. Yeah, right. Julio says Chernobyl is the bomb. I have not gotten into Chernobyl yet. I gotta watch that. Captain Weirdbeard, new show, sounds interesting. Yeah. So Nosferatu. Everybody knows that Nosferatu is just another name for vampire, right? And while we haven't necessarily gotten into, you know, hardcore vampiric themes as of yet in the show, I fully expect that to happen. I've not read the books, so I don't know really much else other than kind of what I've read and, you know, some articles and stuff like that online. So, it should be a fun ride. You know, this guy is an award-winning writer, just like his father. So far, there are... it's like it's almost a shared universe, because there's one scene in the first episode that references Pennywise's circus. So if you guys know who Pennywise is, he's the clown from It. It was written by Stephen King, who all his books share the same universe, believe it or not. Every single one of them, even Shawshank Redemption, shares the same universe as It and Pet Sematary and Carrie and the Langoliers and Under the Dome and all of the books. They all share the same universe, which is crazy. And the Stand, the Dark Tower series, they all happen in the same universe. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, man. So, so far, very, very interesting. And I'm not going to spoil it for anybody because it sounds like you motherfuckers don't watch it. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not going to judge you. But definitely check it out. AMC on Sundays. Like I said, it's in that Walking Dead time slot. And man, it is really good. Really good. Now, I know a lot of you in here are like comic book geeks and stuff like that. So, does anybody watch Krypton? I watched the first season, right? And I've got the first episode of the second season on the DVR. And I haven't gotten around to queuing it up yet. So hopefully it's halfway decent again. We'll see, right? Julio Ponte. Oh my God, Langoliers. Yeah, dude. You remember the old school TV movie, right? From like the 80s? That shit scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. I didn't want to get on a plane. Like, for real. Oh yeah, Kenneth Sim, Dr. Sleep. Yeah, you guys have seen the have you guys seen the trailer for that yet? Dr. Sleep. It's the sequel to The Shining. You know The Shining with Jack Nicholson and Red Rum. You know that kid. So evidently in the sequel he's all grown up. And he's played by Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is kind of cool. And so, I don't know the premise other than, he goes back and kind of, I guess, investigates different stuff. But it looks pretty wild. I gotta admit, it looks pretty damn wild. And the funny part is that the original Shining, the movie, was created by Stanley Kubrick, right? The story was written by Stephen King, but the movie was produced by Stanley Kubrick. Evidently, Stephen King never liked Stanley Kubrick's rendition of The Shining. He evidently hated it. So he was completely and totally averse to that movie, unfortunately. From what I've heard, Stephen King has played a much, much larger part in this Dr. Sleep, this sequel, which has got me excited because that's pretty damn cool. Bailey, Ewan McGregor, yes. Ewan McGregor plays the grown-up Red Rum kid. Yeah, pretty crazy. Julio Ponte, The Strain was awesome, right? Terry T, that universe is called Maine. I lived there for a year, and I felt like I'm constantly in Stephen King novels. Yeah. Rob Umbara, he's over there on YouTube. Love the movie from Stephen King, but not a fan of reading the book. Yeah, his books are like massive, right? So it's like James R. Martin. You know, with Game of Thrones and stuff, right? Build says, nah, DW, that you got Stephen King fan over here. Grew up on the books. Probably the reason why my imagination is so twisted. Nice. That's awesome. You know, and honestly, I've never, I'll be the first one to say I've never read one of Stephen King's novels. I've seen the movies. I'm big fans of those, but I've never read the novels. And I know they're probably way better than any of the movies. I just, you know what? It comes down to time. It comes down to time. You know what? That's a lie. It comes down to time, and it comes down to effort. And I don't really make much of an effort. So, there you go. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real with you guys. That's all. That's all I can do. Be real with you. Okay. So, the major thing when trimming all of these bevels is that the corners of all the surfaces should eventually meet up. They should match. And if they do, then you've got a successful looking piece. Now, not all the times do they do that, which we come back in and we trim up a little bit, and we make them we make it work, we make it fit. There we go. Okay. Looking pretty good. We're getting there. This is the third corner piece here, so we're making good progress. Making good progress. But the main problem that we're running into is getting these corners, these bevel corners to match up. And that's always the hardest part with something like this. No matter how good your placement is, it's never gonna be quite perfect. And so sometimes you just have to fudge it. But that looks pretty good there. Alright, so let's take a look at our work so far. There's what we got so far, right? Pretty damn good. There is what we're duplicating. Now, we cover that little bit, that little corner up there. Not bad, right? Not bad. That's what we do. Sice builds. You know what, Sice builds? You have a wonderful point. Audiobooks are your friend. Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are, man. Yes, they are. And you know what? I have listened to many audiobooks in my days. That's kind of how I got caught up on the Game of Thrones series. I'll be honest with you. But man, just lately, with me being so busy and shit, like trying to find time to work on this project alone, outside of streaming, obviously, is difficult. But then trying to listen to an audiobook or something like that, man, forget it. It's been nuts. nuts. Whoa, hey now. Pieces jumping around on me here. Oh, you know what? And I should mention this because my friend Zach, you guys know Zach, Zaku Aurelius. He just published his 2000th video. And if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend it because it's pretty damn funny. And I was the one that suggested the topic for him. And he gave me a little shout out at the beginning, which was kind of cool too. So there you go. That's my boy. He was wondering in the Gumpo Talk chat. He was just like, I don't know what to do. I want to do something kind of special. And people were throwing out, the boys were throwing out ideas and everything. I'm like, why don't you just do a retrospective? And he's just like, oh man, that's a good idea. So there we go. Done deal. Okay. All right. Whoo, boy. That looks pretty good, you guys. Not too shabby. That was quick work, man. Where's Dean? I saw Dean here earlier. He didn't do a parts count tonight. Damn it, Dean. That's okay, though. That's all right, though. But yeah. So there we go, guys. That's how you do a recessed panel. Yeah? So, just to compare them. Why isn't it focusing? Ugh. Focus on that. There we go. So, there's your panels. Looking nice. Some good reveal. It's about, after we sanded it down, that's probably closer to 1/4 millimeter, which is perfect. Because you don't want a ton of overhead to that recessed panel, because then it's just not going to look right, right? So that's a good night's work, right? Edward Lenore says, I have a question. Oh man. Q seizure. Yeah, right? There you go, Julio. Oh, man. Good stuff, guys. Good stuff. All right. So, with that being said, let's switch back over to one camera here. Let's finish tonight out here. Edward Leonard says, after applying the pigments, can you top coat it? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Oh, wait. Slice Build says, wait, Tim, I do actually have a question. All right, I'll give you guys one. Okay, here, I'll give you guys one. Ready? Ready? Ready?
We have a question.
That's so great. So yes, to answer Edward Leonard's question, you can definitely apply a top coat after the pigments. It needs to be, from what they said, it needs to be like water-based. So, or what is it? All clad aqua clear, I believe is the name of their clear coat. I don't know. Again, this is all new to me. I don't use water-based stuff. Bailey, do you know like a water-based clear coat that would be similar to that? Is Bailey still on? I don't know. Bailey's the man when it comes to acrylics, water-based stuff, and things like that. I would always defer to his expertise. There he is. Alclad Aqua Gloss. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so something like that, you know, like an acrylic based gloss. This I'm sure this metal varnish, the Vallejo varnishes and stuff like that will work pretty well, because that's all water-based. Bailey says, or pledge if that's still your thing. Yeah, I don't get down on the pledge stuff, man. I'll spend the money and get the good stuff, to be honest with you. But, I mean, that might work too, quite honestly. So, yeah. But you definitely can gloss over or clear coat over the pigments, the chroma flares, yes. Scythe Build says, okay, I'm recasting the Death Scythe Hell Wing in clear resin. However, I want to keep all of the functional movement, so I know this means that the unit has to be pulled apart and individual pieces have to be cast. How would you suggest going about this? So it depends, you know, when you're casting stuff, it depends, number one, on the shape of the pieces. That's going to be the most important thing, because different pieces require different casting methodologies, right? Something like the Greebly plates that we did last week, that's just a one-part dump mold. There's nothing complicated about that, right? For something like that, that is individual pieces and stuff, that's probably going to require a two-part mold. So you're probably going to have to lay down a layer of clay, you know, and embed your pieces in that clay, create your first mold half, flip it over, peel that clay out, pour your second part, and kind of do things that way, right? But it really is going to be dependent on the piece, because you need, how to make a mold, you have to orient those parts in such a way where the airflow flows out of the part cavity as efficiently as possible, because if there's any nooks and crannies where air can get trapped, that will cause an air bubble. No matter how much pressure you put onto that, you could still have a gaping air bubble there in whatever little air trap that you have, right? So sometimes you have to invert pieces properly. Sometimes you have to make channels for airflow to escape properly. So, you know, every casting job is different. Every molding job, I should say, is different, because it really is going to come down to the part. Now, you can, if they're all simple, you know, pretty simplistic pieces, you know, you can sprue those things to where you have just a central pour spout. You can have it in the middle of the mold, so you have parts on either side. You have a central pour spout in the middle. When the mold is standing up, you pour resin down into it, and it goes down into the channel, flows out this way, and then up. It fills from the bottom up in all of those parts, and then the air, you know, escapes through vent holes at the top of the mold. That's the most efficient way to mold those, but again, it's gonna be solely dependent on, you know, the orientation of the parts, the complexity of the parts, the number of parts that you have to recast. So it's kind of an impossible question to answer over a stream without seeing the parts. So, best thing I can say to you, man. Sorry. Bailey says, any of the other water-based stuff, Vallejo Gloss Varnish, Ammo of MIG, Lucky Varnish Gloss, whatever AK Interactive's ripped off versions of MIG stuff is called. Oh, nice. Will's over there on YouTube. How would you recommend molding a complicated shaped V-fin? Or a complicated shape like a V-fin? Actually, V-fins are not insanely complicated. So, again, what you would do is fashion the imagine this is the V, and I know this looks terrible, but okay, so here's the V fin, right? Here's the little, your little camera or your little, ornamental thing here, right? So you would have a pour spout going down this way, right? It would pour down, you would pour the resin down into the downspout, and then it would go, turn, go underneath of that, and then fill it from the bottom, and then off of the two points on the V-fin, you would have escape channels, little escape channels for the air and everything out that way. It would fill in from the bottom up, thus filling and casting that V-fin. The Ashtray blue frame. Okay, so yeah, I mean, from what I remember that the Ashtray V-fin looks like, it's not that insanely complex. So yeah, so I mean, that should probably do it. Yeah. Or you could go super simple and get you some of that Orimaru or whatever it is, the moldable plastic stuff that you boil in water, and then you can kind of make a mold, press mold around that, and then use epoxy putty, fill that in, and boom, you got yourself a quick, dirty casting. That's one way of doing it. It's a cheap and easy way of doing it too, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, so good question, Will. Good question. So, all right, boys and girls, it's 1:45 here on the East Coast, here in beautiful Maryland, here in the middle of the East Coast here in the States. We have wonderful weather right now. It's in the mid-70s. Low humidity. Sun sets at about 9 p.m. Oh, so good right now. Love spring. So, with that being said, yeah, man, good stream tonight, I guess, right? We had some hurdles with the Yugen. And I think we're going to get that fixed. I know the guys at Armored Komodo are chomping at the bit to help. So shout out to Armored Komodo. Those guys are great. They've been amazing with their support. So, yeah. Let's see. James Nozaku Boy says, Oyamaru is the shit. He says, it's how I made the cast of the Sinanju chest for my goof. Yeah. So there you go. Good stuff. Sykes Builds says, that's fair. I can send you a pic of the item on Discord if you don't mind. And just get back to me. Dude, shoot me an email. It's probably easier. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't use Discord all that much. And I'm kind of a rookie at that too, So shoot me an email. And through my website, www.chadamecha.com. Hit the contact button up at the top. Just shoot me an email, and I'll reply back to you, definitely. So I can take a look at it, and I can give you a little bit more advice on it. So I'd be happy to do it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So anyway, all right, you guys. Mecha Army! That's awesome. Hey, represent the Army. If you guys are interested in representing the Mecha Army, by all means, go to www.chadamecha.com, hit the store button up at the top. You will find shirts, hats, bags, all sorts of really cool stuff on there. So go and go get you some of that. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we worked with here tonight, like the Bob Smith Industries glue, like the silicone brushes, some of the cutters and stuff like that we worked with here tonight, there's a good old little Amazon link just below here on YouTube and Twitch, that side if you're watching on Facebook. It is filled with curated items on there that will be useful in your modeling journey. books for inspiration, camera gear for streaming if you want to get into that, all the tools and stuff like that we use here pretty much on stream all the time, right? I do get a little bit of a commission based off of the stuff that you buy, so buy a lot. It goes to help out the stream. The mic, Windows 10, this is a direct result. This is your fault, people. That, and that, and that, damn it, and shit. And that again, that's your fault. But I love it. I love it. It's amazing. God, that's never going to get old. Maybe by the end of the week. Oh my God. But that's the stuff. Man, that is great. And man, that's because of you guys. You guys are amazing. So keep up the support. Love you. Keep up the support. So, hey, guys, with that said, man, have an awesome Tuesday. Build something cool. Stay safe out there. We will see you back here on Wednesday. And then we got a good old episode of Mechanism coming on Friday to close out the week. Man, that should be fun. So, without any further ado, I'll see you guys Wednesday. Take care.